Welcome to Travel Chat. This week, I had the opportunity to chat with one of our travel advisors, Sonia, about her recent day at Discovery Cove and her hot tip for getting a boarding group for Rise of the Resistance at Hollywood Studios.
Hey, Sonia, it is so awesome to chat with you today. I'm excited to hear what you have to say about your recent trip to Orlando.
Hi, Jenny. I'm excited to tell you all the information.
Awesome, awesome. Um, the thing I'm most excited to talk to you about is your day at Discovery Cove, because I think a lot of folks don't realize how easy it is to add a day to your Orlando vacation, whether you're at Disney or Universal or SeaWorld, to spend a day at Discovery Cove. And I know that's what your family just did last week.
Yes, absolutely. It's so easy to add on, and it's such a fun, all-inclusive experience for the day. And there's no thought process, it's everything's included from your food to your snacks to your drinks to your experience and your scuba gear. Like everything's included. It's awesome.
So tell me a little more about that, because I think sometimes folks don't realize it's more than just a dolphin swim. It's more than just a park. It's really a unique experience.
It really is. So basically, if you go there with the dolphin swim, you want to get there as early as you can. The earlier you get there, the earlier your dolphin swim experience is. So you have priority to pick what time you want to do your swim.
Mhm.
It was pretty nice because as soon as we got there, they showed our Lyft driver where to drop us off at. They did our temperature check. Sent us on into the building, which they sent us to our check-in desk, which had the plexiglass up. Everybody was social distance. It was perfect. And then from there, they send you back to like the stroller area. And that's where you talk to somebody about, we had a private cabana, which is awesome and a must have.
So cool.
Yeah, it totally makes the day even better. So they led us back to our private cabana, which was at the Grand Reef. So we could just walk right out and get into the Grand Reef. Um, what's nice about that is you have your own little locker with your key. You have your snacks, you have your fridge stocked, and they just keep restocking it with whatever beverage you like. And you have your privacy, and you just get to sit there and relax for part of the day, which is one of the best parts. But anyway, so then other than that, you have your lazy river. Your breakfast is included. They serve breakfast up till 10:30. And then at 11:30 lunch starts, and that goes till 3:30. They did on this with COVID, they did give you a specific time to come back for lunch,
Okay.
which is different. They don't normally do that. And then you have your special things that you can do. You can pay and do a shark swim, which I'm a little too chicken for, so I did not do that. And then they have the animal encounter that you can do behind the scenes, and they have the deep sea dive that you can do where you really get down up and close and personal with those stingrays, which
Awesome. Awesome. So even if you're not doing an add-on, there's still the Grand Reef, the
yes.
Lazy River. Um, Talk to me about the Grand Reef, because the videos that your son took, I thought you guys were in the Caribbean somewhere. It looked so amazing.
Right? It's so much fun. So I am a chicken, so he did that for me. He went under there. He swam with mama. He swam with grandma. He got a hold of all of those stingrays, which was pretty cool. I mean, they were big. They were probably 6 foot wide, some of them. I mean, some of them were huge. And that's what's fun. So the Grand Reef is not heated. It is colder water, but you get in there and there's just thousands of fish and stingray. Many different types of fish in there that scare you to death and swim by you, but it is all different depths. Some of it you can stand in, some of it it's 20 foot deep.
Mhm.
There are people out there watching to make sure everybody's safe. um, but just a fun experience. I mean, sometimes they do the feeding, which is really cool because they all come swarming around um, to get their food, and then they stay around for a little while because they think everybody's going to feed them. But yeah, just super cool experience. You kind of you don't feel like you're in a park. You feel like you kind of left and went to an all-inclusive resort for the day.
Awesome. That's such a cool feeling.
Yes.
Awesome. Now, I know top of everyone's minds when they hear Discovery Cove is they think of the dolphin swim.
Yes.
What people might not realize is that you don't have to purchase the dolphin swim with your tickets, right?
Right.
So it's kind of with or without the dolphin swim. But I was hoping you could explain a little bit about the dolphin swim, because there's two options. And I know that right now they're only doing one of those. So can you tell me a little bit about the differences between the two?
Yeah, absolutely. So right now they're just doing the shallow swim. So normally you can do the shallow swim, or if you're a good swimmer, you can do the regular dolphin experience, which they just take you out further and you have a further swim back with the dolphin.
Okay.
With the shallow swim, it's a shorter distance and it's not as deep. It's just such a blast. And even with COVID, it's very similar to the regular day experience, even with COVID. So like, as far as masks go, you only have to wear them in the dining and in the shopping. You don't have to wear them when you're walking around, as long as you have your wetsuit on. If you have street clothes on and you've just came in, then you do have to wear the mask. Other than that, you just get to swim and have fun. That lazy river is heated to like 85 degrees, I think. So I got in there after the Grand Reef and I was like, oh, so nice. And that takes about probably 25 minutes at least, I would say, to get through the lazy river.
Around the whole lazy river.
Yeah.
Sounds like you had such a good day.
It was so much fun. I tell you, it's so much fun. And then we did get to see like the marmosets, the otters were out. We did not do the private like animal trek where you can see the sloth, but that is on my next, that's on my next list. I want to hold a sloth.
I know. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing too to note is when I say everything's included, I mean everything. Your wetsuit, your goggles, your snorkel gear.
Okay.
Everything that you need. You can walk in there with nothing and completely be done over and have all your stuff, take it off at the end of the day and head home. It's beautiful.
That's awesome. Now, I know with your cabana that you paid extra for, there was a locker, but I'm assuming there's lockers for folks who want to just put all their personal belongings away for the day and just kind of walk around and enjoy.
There is lockers and there is just a huge shower and locker area that you can go into and take a shower. You can go to the bathroom and then you can just put your stuff in the locker and go hang out on a chair. Yeah, you most certainly don't have to have a cabana. You could do plenty fine without it. It just was nice, easy access to the Grand Reef. They knew exactly what we wanted and kept refilling our little refrigerator, and it gave us a nice place, easy to lock our stuff up, which was awesome. Plus, last time I went, it was February and it was cold. It was 59 degrees in Florida, which is like unheard of, right? Even
Absolutely unheard of, yeah.
It was cold. It was my day I picked to spend in the water. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. But they had a heater in my private cabana.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That was super, super nice. So that's something to keep in mind too. If you go when it's colder, that's a good way of still making a perfect day of it.
And how much was the cabana for your family this trip?
This trip, it was $200 for the cabana. It does change depending on what time of the year you go. So I think it can go up to like $400 if you're going like dead summer, you know, the most popular time to travel.
Yeah. That's actually for a whole day. It's a very affordable price. I know some other water parks in Orlando where the cabana prices would definitely start even higher than that. So
yeah, I don't think it's bad for what you get, and you have someone on staff all the time to restock your towels, to restock your refreshments, your snacks, all of that stuff, anything you want. I mean, yeah, to me, it's a no-brainer.
So something else I was excited to talk to you about was your experience when you were over at Disney with the new Rise of the Resistance at Hollywood Studios, the new way that they're going about giving out the boarding groups. So now instead of at park opening and being inside the park, you can request them at 7 a.m. I know you had an interesting experience with that. So tell me how that went for you and your family.
Oh boy, was that interesting. Disney could not make that more nerve-wracking. That's all I know. But a good thing we could be in our room at 7 a.m. because we didn't look the best while we were up getting that. We're not early risers. But so yeah, it was interesting. We only had one day at Hollywood Studios. We only had 3 days total, one day at Hollywood. So we needed to hit this day one. So my daughter got up, it's, 6:50, we're ready to go. We're videoing it for you, and we're like, we got this, we're ready. We made sure our Wi-Fi was off and We
Yep.
did all the right stuff, right? We were on the right screen and we were refreshing. And sure enough, we refreshed. It said join, and we're like, and we clicked join. Sorry, we're full.
Ugh.
Like 8 seconds. You've got to be kidding me. So we didn't send you that video because we're in the background going, no way. We missed it. So we're like, no big deal, right? We're like, we'll get it at 2. So we go on, we get ready. We go get in line for the Skyliner. So we got in line for the Skyliner about 8:15. Line wasn't too bad at that point. It got up and got running about 9 o'clock. So we were in the park in line for park open at about 9:10. So it wasn't terrible. Ran pretty smooth. But at 2 o'clock, we hop on at 1:50. We're sitting all crunched up by the Tower of Terror. We're ready. We've got our Wi-Fi off, and we're like, we have this time. We're going to get this. Sure enough, we refresh. And I tell you, it happened so quick. 5 seconds, they were full.
Oh my God.
5 seconds. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So this time, instead of saying it was full, it said that it was an error. It said something went wrong. So I did go to guest services and I said, you know, hey, we were trying to get this. It said something went wrong. It didn't say it was full. And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. There's 2 messages you can get. One is it's full. One is something went wrong. And I was like, so there's nothing we can do. I'm like, we have no other day. And she's like, there's nothing we can do. It's a low capacity ride. We have nothing we can do. And my daughter's face was just like, sad. I was like, this is our senior trip. You know, we're trying to make this year a big year. So before we left, I went up and asked them, I said, okay, we are desperate. So if we wake up, if we would change our Animal Kingdom day tomorrow, it's our last day. If we would change it to Hollywood Studios, because they did have availability, thank God. And we wake up in the morning and we don't get a boarding group, can I switch it back to Animal Kingdom so I don't lose my whole day, you know, at Hollywood when we've been here all day?
Right.
He's like, yes, you can actually, you can do that. And I was like,
You wouldn't have stepped foot in the park yet because you're requesting it
at home. Yes.
Okay.
At my Pop Century room. So it worked out perfect. So that was our goal. We woke up at 6:50. We're like, we're going to get this, but if we don't, we're going to Animal Kingdom. So I'll tell you what we did. The trick was I pulled up the exact official Disney Florida time on my laptop, and I had that running so I could see the seconds. Because before we were just guessing and refreshing.
Sure.
And 5 seconds can make it or break it for you.
So you were watching the seconds tick.
Yes. So we watched the seconds tick down. And so at 6:59, I refreshed and I clicked join. The join button was lit up. I clicked join and I got boarding group 7.
Ah.
Yay! So by the time we got to the park that day, park open was 10 o'clock. They were already calling boarding group 1 through 6. 10 minutes later, we were boarding group 7 and we were on and got to ride it. And it was amazing. What nerve-wracking.
Don't tell me too much. I haven't
I
written it yet. And I've tried not to watch too many of the spoilers because I want to just enjoy it when I finally go. But
you don't want to ruin it ahead of time. It was really cool. And I'm not a Star Wars fan. So I'm not one of those people. I can imagine if you were a Star Wars fan, how big this attraction would be for you.
Gotcha. Well, I'm so glad you guys got to ride it. I was rooting for you the whole time. I really was convinced you were going to get it the first day.
Oh,
but you know, you never know. I had clients there last week and it was their 3rd day that they finally got it. So, you know, what we go through to get on the
nerve-wracking. It is the most nerve-wracking process because you're up, it's early, you're tired, and you know, your vision's blurry and you're trying to wait for the join button and there's no slack in time. Like you have to push it and be quick because it's a make it or break it. There's no Disney magic that's going to get you on it.
So I also saw that you guys built a droid and you built a lightsaber at Hollywood Studios. So I'm curious about the experience because I know they're slightly different maybe than they were pre-COVID, but excited to see that those options are back up and running. And how did your family enjoy those?
Oh, we were super excited. So this, like I said, all on my daughter's list. This was her big trip because she's gonna be starting college. So we wanted to make it fun. So we did both. We both did the droid. So we both built one of those. So with the droid or the saber, one person paying to do that experience, and you can have one person watching or attending to take pictures and video. So with the saber, she's the only one built the saber, but I was able to go in with her, and I got the video of the whole saber experience and the whole little ritual that goes on beforehand and all that excitement, which was super cool. I don't think a whole lot has changed since COVID, other than I think you used to be able to take more than one person in there with you. I'm not 100%. Other than that, it was the same spacing because everybody was already spaced out pretty well because they were building a saber. The same thing with the droid experience because you were in your own little sections, you know what I mean? So everything was spaced out there. Of course, with Disney, you wear a mask everywhere you go unless you're eating. So the masks were on, but other than that, I mean, she had an absolute blast picking out her saber, and she carried it all around proud the rest of the day. And we did our droids and we put personalities in them. So I took one personality, she took another, so that they would interact with each other.
So cute.
Yeah, so they talk back and forth and beep back and forth to each other and all that good stuff. So it was a super fun experience.
That's great. So Sonia, thank you so much for sharing about your trip last week to Discovery Cove and Hollywood Studios and you know, staying at Universal and Disney. It sounds like you had an awesome week, and it was really a pleasure to chat with you.
Absolutely. Thanks, Jenny. It was a great week. It was an exhausting week, so now we get to rest up.
Good for you. All right, bye.
Bye. Thanks.
Thank you, Sonia, for chatting about your day at Discovery Cove and for that hot tip for getting on Rise of the Resistance. And thanks to all of you for taking the time to check out this week's Travel Chat. We're excited to bring you information and updates as more destinations continue to welcome back travelers.